Hi guys, we are live now. So we're live on Facebook also today. So it's the first time that I'm doing it on Facebook. We are live on YouTube also. So we've got quite a few people. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to the today's meetup. We're talking about Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin cryptocurrency, adoption of all cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin Cash. We're talking about the latest, what's happening, and what's been happening in the last 1 week, because from the last meetup to now. Vishal, really nice to have you. If you could put your mic on mute, it'd be great. Of course, you can unmute the time when you were asking the question. We can start with you, Vishal. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. This is my first time here.
Very nice to know that's your first time. But yeah, you can. I'm sorry, I had to take that one on the live. But yes, what brings you to the meetup today?
Yeah, I'm very interested in this cryptocurrency, as I'm also a blockchain developer, so that makes me.
You are developing blockchain already, like you're a blockchain developer?
Yeah, it's you can say it's my hobby. I've done Ethereum development.
You've been doing Ethereum development. Okay.
Yeah.
So what have you developed and what part of Ethereum development are you doing?
Yeah, I just created a demo app in my hackathon.
Oh yeah.
It's a transfer app. Yeah.
So what hackathon was this? If you can explain a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a Western Union hackathon. The company, it's Western Union.
Western Union.
Yeah.
You're talking about the remittance Western Union. Okay.
Yeah, so they've conducted this hackathon for this. So we just implemented this blockchain kind of thing. We created that.
Okay. So what part of the development did you do? Like what codes did you write?
Yeah, I've used that library for the Ethereum. I've done the front-end part of the application. We directly consume this API services of Ethereum, the demo API services, so in the application, and demo it to the manipulator there.
Okay. What kind of specific hackathon was it?
It's for the for hiring purpose, right? They come to our college, conduct the hackathon.
Okay.
2 to 3 colleges. So yeah.
Oh, great. So it was a campus interview, and they kind of like came to recruit. So they could have asked you for anything, right? Any kind of. Okay.
Yeah. For the recruitment purpose.
Sure. So how did it go?
Yeah, it goes fine and everything works fine. But the thing is, we stuck in somewhere in between the transaction completion. So that would be a bit tricky, and there less time we got in that hackathon actually.
Okay, so I'm just coming off the mic because we are on live on Facebook also, and I don't think they can hear us what we're talking about on this. So I hope they get to hear whatever the questions that we talk about here. So I'm using without the hands, without the headphones. I hope you guys can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Clear. So yeah, that's nice to know, Vishal. I guess we have other people also. Let's just get others also. Srinivas, you want to go ahead and say something and introduce yourself? Okay. Srinivas, you're still there, but I guess if you're not able to hear me or join the conversation, it's not a problem. You can be a observer. Okay, so we're talking about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin Cash. That's one of the main things that we're talking about here. The latest developments for the week, and I'm just introducing this to the Facebook also. You guys, I know you cannot join the conversation, but of course you can leave a question, whatever that you have, and we will be able to take that question here and answer your question on this meetup. So of course we are live on YouTube also. On the YouTube channel is indiecrypto./TV. If you have any questions, you can even ask that there also. So hey, yeah. So what's the latest, Romit? What's going on?
Not sure. I haven't caught up much.
Okay, so I was. Sorry, if you had something.
Yeah, I guess. I guess recently what I saw on Twitter was there was something regarding the crypto committee. I think they were talking about considering Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies as a commodity.
Okay.
I guess I'm not sure whether it was an opinion or it's something that they are looking at actively doing.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I think it's too late. They've thought of that, but I guess a long time ago itself, they had thought of what do we do with this? Should we just consider this commodity and go on with that? But I guess the conclusion is not ready yet. It's not a conclusive answer for crypto, right? Because it kind of like is an overall thing. It's not just a commodity. It's a commodity come currency come asset and a resource. That's what I call it. I call it a resource, the humankind's resource. It actually fits in a lot of places and it actually works smoothly within all of them. So let's see. Yeah, you're right. Actually, that was is that from the crypto Kanun that you heard?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it was. I saw it from multiple tweets. I'm not sure who was the first person that I saw talking about that.
Same here. I don't know who the first person is, but yeah, definitely I heard it from crypto Kanun. I don't know if they're the ones who initiated that. But yes, the hot topic that's going on this week, right? The week's hot topic is Twitter getting hacked for Bitcoin. That was one of the things.
Oh, yeah.
All over local, international.
Yeah, I also heard that.
So what do you guys think about that? Vishal?
Well, I heard that it was an insider job, like somebody got paid to basically hand over the information or something. Which is really.
Okay, so I did hear that too, that insider hacking may have happened. Somebody from Twitter itself must have like released those details of the people. But I also heard that there were the phishing attempts. So they could have compromised one of the staff of Twitter too.
Yeah.
So because of phishing attempt, they must have got the information from the staff of Twitter, and once they got the details, of course they were able to hack, but may have not like hacked and but not even like an insider job. Maybe somebody from outside fished for this information from a staff, and the staff became a victim. Twitter staff became a victim of it. And well, I guess that it's a theory. That is another theory that's there.
Yeah, the thing is, if you had access to such high-profile accounts, would you really be tweeting about Bitcoin? I think there are much better ways of, basically making money or handling it.
Yeah, I guess that's what the hacker, eventually the hacker who initially got the information, was trying to get some bitcoins out of the people, right, out of the naive people. So he kind of like used all the high-profile tweets, high-profile pages to call for some donations of Bitcoin or the funding of Bitcoin, where he was promising like he was going to give them double. That was never going to happen. But yeah, so in their name, you try to play that game. Even in Obama's name, I guess.
Yeah. I was looking at some videos where they said how horrible this could actually be, where certain high profiles could basically just say that, oh, we have been attacked by so and so country, and the other verified accounts would basically confirm as well from these hackers, and it would actually be a really horrible situation for the world.
Well, yeah,
at least for some time.
That's true, including for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin Cash. I think there was like a little bad PR going around. But hey, you know that any media is good media, right? So eventually, whatever people would have heard the bad thing about it, the idea is they heard about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Maybe it will be helpful in the future. Maybe not right now, though. So yeah, we have a new person who's joined us. Himanshu, are you able to hear us? Do you want to join us and introduce yourself?
Did we just get cut off? You're muted, I guess, Vikram.
Yes, I just got back. Yes, there was a disturbance with the internet and it just cut me off. And this has happened from ACT. The latest that I heard about ACT has got like a huge number of spike in terms of new connections. Maybe they are lacking to get that, to everyone. So, yeah, I'm back. So we're talking about the Iranian issue. Indian funds could not reach Iran because of course, the federal bank just put a block on it, and they put sanctions on a lot of things, which affected India. And China went ahead and building, and they're going to get the contract to build the roadways there. So this is one of those things. Otherwise, we know Bitcoin Cash's day is coming, which is on the 1st of August 2020, which is in 2 weeks' time. So in 2 weeks, next to next Saturday, we will be having another meetup, of course, in the name of DCH Day, to celebrate 3 years of Bitcoin Cash fork. Well, the fork made better developments on Bitcoin. We just call it Bitcoin Cash. That's like the extra name that it got as Cash. Otherwise, of course, Bitcoin Cash works smoothly as how Bitcoin works as an asset class and everything. And Bitcoin Cash does even better than Bitcoin for payment settlements and value transfer for cheap and instant. That's 3 years today. Yeah, so we're going to be 3 years in 2 weeks. So we're going to be having a major meetup on the 1st of August. Also, if anybody wants to make a post with the hashtag BCH day, there is a competition that's going on. Whichever tweet or a social media post gets the maximum traction is going to win 0.75 BCH. And the second place is half a Bitcoin cash, and the third place is quarter of a Bitcoin cash and some consolation prizes too. So anybody who wants to join that, you can straight away go ahead. I'll just post the hashtag here so that you can use the hashtag and you don't miss out. So yeah, it's a free Bitcoin Cash that's given away, so why not? Of course, a lot of SLPs also coming along with that, but that's not mentioned yet. But of course, the price clearly is mentioned as Bitcoin, 3/4 of a Bitcoin for the first one. Hey, so we have some known people also on the Facebook Live that we are hosting. Hi Pramod, hi Ajay, Gagan, Ashwin, Gal, Lokesh, many of my friends who've joined on my Facebook page. You guys have any question that I know you can't speak here, just message and we can definitely get those questions answered on the live meetup. Yeah, so a few other new people. Sakti, if I'm saying it right, you want to join and introduce yourself. You're one of the new persons who's joined. Even Raja Kishore, Mayank, of course, Mayank has been here before. Mayank, you know that anytime you want to join, just unmute and you can join. So hi Mayank. Yeah, everything is going good, and as you can see, it's this week and of course the last week also, it was a little bit quiet. The price of crypto is not necessarily fluctuating much, so less of a trading, but of course it is happening. It's just a little bit tapered down. So any other the Twitter takedown? Yeah, actually we just spoke about that, man. Of a lot of, the high profile accounts got hacked on Twitter and then they got taken down. So yeah, we were just discussing about that. You have anything to add to that point? You can go ahead.
Another thing about that was they actually, Twitter actually banned all Bitcoin addresses from tweets. So you could not post a Bitcoin address.
Oh, so that there is no movement of this Bitcoin unnecessarily because some people are claiming for that through the addresses, right?
Yeah, but the fun thing was people actually tried with other addresses. Like, for example, people posted Bitcoin Cash address and it wasn't banned. Which is
oh, wow. So I would have thought Bitcoin Cash address also would have got banned because more or less Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin, the legendary ones are same addresses, right? Anything before 2017. So I thought they would have been able to ban cash also.
Yeah, I guess the legacy ones would have been banned, but nobody uses that in the Bitcoin Cash space. All uses the cash address. So everybody started posting that. And yeah.
I got it. Yes, that makes sense. Actually, yeah, very specific to Bitcoin Cash only then. So lucky those guys who kept on. I hope they got some funding through that address that they have. So yeah, Mayank, you were saying about that same, that you're going to join.
I was saying that this is not a good move by Twitter because banning anything doesn't solve the problem, because you should have also improved your security and all, because from the Twitter that hack we got that we need a decentralized social network platform and all.
So they banned what, the users? Like, I'm sorry, I couldn't get that. You said
they banned the addresses, means Bitcoin addresses.
Yeah.
We posted on Twitter.
On the text messaging.
They also blocked the verified accounts, I guess, for some time. I don't know whether it's been released, but in the beginning,
it was blocked.
Yeah, anyone who had the blue check could not tweet.
Yeah. I was following at that night because when the first tweet came from Binance account, and the CZ had tweeted that Binance has been hacked. And when I moved to CZ account, it was also hacked by that time after 5 minutes. And after that, multiple accounts were hacked. I I knew that it is a very big attack on Twitter community on crypto.
Sure, sure. Just like a couple of days before Twitter attack, I got a message from this girl called Naomi. I would have never spoken to her the way she spoke on Facebook, and I had my doubts in the beginning, but I didn't actually. I just went ahead. Then clearly they were asking me about what wallets I use and where do I keep my Bitcoin and how much Bitcoin. I knew for sure. I think there is something wrong with that. I messaged her on Twitter at that time. She said she doesn't talk to anybody on Facebook chat, Facebook Messenger. So clearly it was a hacked account, and so I told her that this is what is happening. So at least she came to know what was going on. Yes, I think crypto is on the hot topic. Everybody's trying to use crypto to get some money. They're all maybe at home due to lockdown or whatever, and they got a lot of time on hand. So they're trying to get some crypto out of people through these channels. And I guess just after that, 2 days after me messaging her, Twitter thing happened, Twitter hacking happened. Well, this will continue, I guess, because if you see in the past also, many times Bitcoin was used to, extract ransom from people through blocking of their sites and, holding their data as a ransom. You never know this trend. The hackers understand the easiness of how to receive the reward for their hacking, right? Before, if you say there was movies made on receiving the funds, that means that they have kidnapped somebody or made a blackmail or something like that. To receive the funds was so hard before. They used to make movies out of it. Now receiving these ransoms through cryptocurrency has become easier. So I think there are more cases of these happening.
But is it possible to track the cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoin that's been received as ransom?
Yes, so Bitcoin can be tracked. Now, this is anonymous feature that it has. It's not completely anonymous. So since it's not completely anonymous, what you can do is you can profile somebody to understand who and what and how it has happened. And there are ways, but then depending on the depth of the situation, they're going to put in the number of people to do profiling on you or on the situation. That's going to cost a lot of money and resources. I don't know how much they're ready to do that. Well, in the beginning, in 2013, there was a lot of money being put in from FBI and people to track down Silk Road, right? So eventually they could. So if you concentrate on one particular instance and one particular ransom, like you said, we can find out, but it takes its own time, right? So that's part because it's anonymous. It's not completely anonymous. So there are things that you can grab out of your by profiling some situation or the person.
But the ransom that's been received through this Twitter hack, will be like I think it might have been received through hardware wallets. So if at all, if they transfer the cryptos that's been to hardware wallet to some exchanges, then there is a high possibility that they'll get tracked, right? Or
yeah, there is a possibility. Similarly, like if the guy is received in his hardware wallet, there is of course an address trail. That address which received that coin will be monitored. If that address sends that crypto out, of course that will get triggered. Your information is available, then that something is happening through that address. If he doesn't use the same and he does mixing, a lot of ways people can make it anonymous. So it's the pursuit of putting crypto or the use of your crypto as anonymous as possible. There are tools out there. People, if they use a lot of these tools and then make it, it's a little harder for people to find you. Of course, but that particular address that received the crypto will have those details, and if they monitor that, that's the start, right? That's where they can work on. Maybe they will find out. It all depends also on the guy who received it, how quickly and how knowledgeably he's going to use that. If he's going to put it directly into an exchange to take it out as fiat, of course that would be a quick way out for him into fiat, so he may be caught quicker. Unlike others, you may want to change to other crypto, do swapping, do your mixing and everything. So maybe that may be a little hard. But whatever it is, that address that it receives from is the key to start with. They were trying to ban these kind of keys like that, like ones who have specific issues which have received these addresses, which have received ransoms and things like this. But I don't know how far that functionality of banning those addresses and things like that is in work, is in process. It actually doesn't make sense by banning those particular addresses, because it's just used to receive. Once you receive that, they move it out of it, and that address is just use and throw, that kind of a thing. By banning that particular address, it makes no sense, because nobody's going to reuse that address and get caught that way. Or the person himself who did this scam may not never ever use that particular address. So there are ways. It's just how smart you are and how you want to how much of smartness you want to put into it to safeguard your stolen money.
Okay.
So Saki, where are you calling from?
We have met in Bangalore, right? In the coffee shop,
Oh yeah, okay.
and also in the Genesis blog conference. The guy who was wearing the Bitcoin hood.
Guy who's wearing Bitcoin?
Hood.
Oh, I don't remember by the face. I'm sorry, but of course, if you have camera, you can come online. Yes, we met
yeah.
at the Starbucks.
Yeah. Can you recognize?
Yeah.
I'm in my hometown. Yeah.
Well, where's your hometown?
Not in my hometown. I'm near my farmhouse in Trichy, because
Okay.
Chennai isn't safe.
Sure. Yeah, nice to meet you again.
Hi.
So, hey guys, what is today like? Is it raining there?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yesterday it was raining, and here nearby it's Kaveri River, so it's safe here. There isn't any population density, so there is less likely that corona virus would catch us. So
Yeah, that's right. Because I think the Bangalore is a hotspot for corona right now, so it's a little hard to get out of in and out of Bangalore. So good that you're in a safe place.
yeah,
So cool. It's really nice to connect with people who've already been. And tell me, what's happening from the last time we met till now with you in terms of any crypto experiences that you have?
not much. Like, I thought of starting in crypto startup, but I actually paid I was just rented a house in Bangalore, a 3 BHK apartments, and then I thought of getting people into it, but then suddenly this corona had happened, and I had to move back to Chennai. And then even in Chennai, it became a hotspot. So, for some sort of safety, we just moved to Trichy, because we don't want to be in Chennai.
I guess, this is like, just make sure you're safe right now, and everything else can after that.
Yeah. That's it.
So cool. It's really nice to catch up with those who I've met before also, because it's always good to keep in touch that way. Through meetups is a small thing that we connect, but I guess we can understand what's going on latest and all those things that come along. The more we connect, the more we learn about the cryptocurrencies. It's the same here. So the latest from last time to now is, of course, we have our InstaCrypto that's still running. We have our InstaCrypto app that is ready and working through Google Play Store. You can download and use the app.
What's the name of the app?
InstaCrypto.
Okay, InstaCrypto. This is the same website. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. We got the app of that site. I'll just leave a link here. So I'll just do my introduction now. Now that we have all of this, I put out my website there. Instacrypto.in is the name of the website. We have an app ready for Android. Soon we will be launching a payment gateway for merchants too. Meanwhile, what we have is buy and sell for cryptocurrency via instacrypto.in app is we made it really smooth. Your payments can be made through UPI to receive your cryptocurrency. Vice versa, when you sell your cryptocurrency, you receive your payments to your bank account. And we've made that a little bit more automated and much more quicker. The word Insta Crypto, we want to make sure that it's an instant crypto exchange. So we're working towards that. The pursuit is to get this app function automatically completely so that you place an order and you receive your cryptocurrency within the few minutes or few seconds, which is with the Bitcoin Cash. So hey, yeah, we work mostly towards Bitcoin Cash to get this adoption of cryptocurrencies to people, because the way Bitcoin Cash functions, instantly and smoothly and for the cheapest possible fees that you pay for the blockchain on-chain transactions. The reason we depend on Bitcoin Cash is because these are the features. It makes it very quick and gives a great experience to newcomers on crypto platform. So in the meetup today, we also have Romit. Romit is the founder of Zapit Wallet. And what does Zapit Wallet do? It holds Bitcoin Cash for you and SLP tokens. These SLP tokens are the ones which ride on top of Bitcoin Cash. Similarly, how your what is that?
ERC20.
ERC tokens that ride on Ethereum. Thank you, Romit. And yeah, Romit, go ahead and talk a little bit more about your Zapit wallet. And
Sure, yeah. We wanted to build a payments app that could be used globally as well as locally by individuals. It was to basically help the adoption of cryptocurrencies around the world. So if you're talking about payments, one of the most important things is low fees and instant transactions, and there are very few cryptocurrencies in the world that are actually focusing on that. One of those is Bitcoin Cash. If you make a Bitcoin Cash transaction, it supports zero confirmations, which means the moment you send it, within a second, the user receives it. And the fees that you pay is usually like 3 or 4 paise, which is much lower than any other cryptocurrency out there. It still has the same network effect of Bitcoin. It has the same history of Bitcoin. It has a lot of good development happening around it. They're working on things like non-custodial aspects as well as things like cash fusion, which is privacy focused. If you want private transactions, you can have that as well. So yeah, that's why we chose Bitcoin Cash to be the main coin for our wallet. It is called Zapit, Z-A-P-I-T. The awesome thing about Zapit is it's not just a regular wallet, but we are focused on user experience and the user interface. So we made sure that the app looks good, it feels good, it's easy to use. We have a bunch of features, like you can buy Bitcoin Cash, or we call it top up. So you're basically topping up your wallet. You can also withdraw back your funds to your account. But all this is done in a peer-to-peer way, but you don't really know that it's happening in a peer-to-peer way. Even though the backend is completely peer-to-peer, for the users, it is like it's happening through a centralized portal, like, for example, the Paytm wallet or something like that. So very similar to that. We charge quite low fees for each of them. But the services are powered by a non-custodial escrow. It's one of a kind. I don't think there's any other platform in India that does that. There may be 1 or 2 across the world, but if you look at other peer-to-peer exchanges in India, they basically hold your Bitcoin, right? So when the trade is happening, they hold your Bitcoin and you can make a direct bank transfer or UPI payment. But on Zapit, we don't hold your funds. It's locked up in the blockchain using smart contract technology on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, right? So basically, the funds are stored in a non-custodial escrow. So we don't hold your funds. We cannot steal your funds. We can only redirect it if there is a dispute among the buyer or the seller. So we use the same technology to have remittances as well, like money transfer. So you can actually do peer-to-peer money transfer. I don't think there's any other app in the world that does that at the moment. Again, everything is in a non-custodial way, which means we never take your money. We we only take fees for whatever the app services that we are providing. But the awesome thing is we have really good reward systems in the app. If you want to refer another user to Zapit, you get our own token, which is Zapped. As Vikram mentioned, it is a SLP token, which is built on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. It's the most simplest token system built in the cryptocurrency sphere. Again, the sending of the tokens has the lowest fees among Ethereum, EOS, Tron. You can choose anything. So we have it's very simple to create a token as well. Anyone could create a token within 2 minutes, right? If you have Bitcoin Cash, it takes like 2 minutes, and you don't even need to have any programming language. We have our own token, which is called the Zapt, ZAPT token. We have also partnered with InstaCrypto to give INC tokens as well, which is InstaCrypto's own native SLP token. So if you refer a user to Zapit, you basically get some tokens. It's distributed every weekends. But another awesome thing that we introduced in Zapit is we have UPI payments, right? So you use Paytm, Google Pay, Amazon Pay, whatever you want, but you can use the same feature from Zapit, and for every single transaction that you make from Zapit, you get like a random token reward. It's a random token, it's a random amount. Now what you do with the token is up to you, whether you want to hold it, whether you want to sell it for Bitcoin Cash or any other crypto, that's totally up to you. But yeah, we are also introducing things like premium features, which require those tokens to be paid with, right? But again, so every single transaction you are receiving, unlike certain apps out there that just tell you better luck next time, we don't give that. That's more about Zapit.
Yeah, Zapit is a great wallet. Guys, if you have tried any wallet of cryptocurrency, you know how to use a wallet. So get your Zapit wallet, Zapit.io. It's an amazing wallet. It's a non-custodial wallet. So you get your seed phrase to secure your wallet. It's not held by anybody. Your funds are with you. The features that it has is amazing. Like the UPI and the remittance is the two major features that I like about that. You can send funds to anywhere in the world, and with UPI payments, like you make a regular UPI payment through your app, you can, like Paytm and PhonePe and things like that, just use it through Zapit.io. It's amazing. It's even quicker than that. Of course, they leverage whatever that logged in by you, as if you have a Paytm or if you have a Google Pay or PhonePe ready in your phone, it just quickly does the transaction. The best part is, of course, you get a lot of INC tokens and Zap tokens for rewards for using UPI. Once you get those rewards, you know what to do with those tokens. They already have a lot of value. Zap has a great value going on the market. You can hold them, exchange them. If I remember right, number of coins, of cryptocurrency coins, had touched some 2,000 or something in long back. And then it touched about 10,000 different cryptocurrency coins that was around and available, and people were going to use. But today with the SLP itself is about 10,000 coins. So it's as simple as that for you to have your own. If you have a business, you can have your own token that can be used as points to give away for your loyalty points and things like that. Cashbacks through tokens. Zapt is this exactly how it is built for Zapit.io. You have to use it to experience that. That's from Zapit. Thank you very much, Romit.
Sure.
Anyone wants to talk about the points that we just said in InstaCrypto or Zapit? You can, just raise your question on verbally or by the message.
Should I download the wallet through Play Store or Zap?
Yeah, both the apps are available on the Play Store. You can just type InstaCrypto, and if you install that, you can type Zapit, ZAPIT.
Yeah, okay. Zapit beta version, am I right?
Yes. We just launched 3 months ago. Sure.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Well, it may be a little bit complicated in the beginning for you. Whatever the question you have, there are your groups on Telegram. Just join the group and you can ask your question. a lot of people, we are having a conversation about these two always on Telegram handles. So Sakti, you have other wallets that you already use?
Actually, I just hold all my funds in exchanges. So I hold it in, spread it through 6 to 7 exchanges. That's it. I don't use any wallet actually by far.
Okay. Okay. I guess you're one of those people, right? Because a lot of people use exchanges only because exchanges make it simple for you to hold your cryptocurrency with just your email login and things like that. But it is not necessarily the best way to learn and to secure your funds. Try and hold your part, at least, of your cryptocurrencies in a non-custodial wallet where you get a seed phrase, and that seed phrase you write down and you keep it with you. So just in case if you lost your phone or anything, you have that seed phrase to generate back your wallet on a different phone and then secure your funds. Zapit also works that way. Zapit is a little bit more secure than that because not just through a seed phrase, you can even secure it your password also. There are two steps of to safeguard your funds, and totally it's non-custodial. So it's the system or the blockchain holding your funds, not necessarily any third party who holds your private keys of your crypto. Because you know what exchanges do, right? The exchanges is the first place people hack to get your funds. May not be the internal,
Yeah.
external also happens. And you know, I'm the first-hand experienced person in that. In 2013, my 9.5 bitcoins got hacked. So I had it in an exchange, and the exchange got hacked. And my wallet was the only wallet that had a withdrawal put out. Because when they looked through the wallet in my own exchange, Bitcoin, the hackers went through all the wallets and they saw the maximum number of coins was sitting in mine, 9.5, and they tried to withdraw all 9.5 at once. Luckily, the way our system was set up by our tech guy, CTO, was that there will be anything more than one Bitcoin had to go through an admin to get approved. And this was done at like 4 in the morning or something. At 6 o'clock, I got a call. Sakti, I think there is a little disturbance from your.
Yeah, I'll mute it. I'm sorry.
No problem. So yeah, and all 9.5 bitcoins was put on a withdrawal by this hacker. Luckily, it didn't go through. If he had to put in one bitcoin, it should have gone through that day because one bitcoin was on the hot wallet ready to go. The price of bitcoin per bitcoin then was somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 rupees. So up to one Bitcoin was allowed, and since they tried 9.5, it didn't go through. 6 o'clock in the morning, I got a call from my CTO saying, "Did you try to withdraw all your Bitcoins?" I was like, "No, I didn't." He's like, "No, you have put on a withdrawal request, and I've got an admin approval pending here." And I said, "Sorry, I did not do that, and just check what has happened. It's not me then." So he checked and he got back to me in a couple of hours. By 9 in the morning, I got a call again saying that yes, it was hacked. Because you know your regular path of me logging in with password and things was not even there. There was no prints on that. There was some other way that they had got in through a backdoor, and they looked into all the wallets and withdrew just one, and which was the highest wallet. So that way it didn't go through and it got stuck there. Luckily, nothing happened, but we did tip that guy 0.01 for showing us the backroot and the bug in our system. So that was the first ever experience of hacking in Monocoin. Well, of course, that was the first exchange also for India. Before that, I think there was some hacking already had happened in other countries. Mt. Gox also experienced the biggest hack, right? So that was a little later than what my experience happened. But I think Mt. Gox's hacking was mostly from the US government. It was like a paid hack that they performed on Mt. Gox. 99% is what is proved like that. But anyway, that was then. That was the story.
People say that even Binance has been hacked many times.
True. The reason, because again, Binance kind of a place is like the major hub for all cryptocurrencies, right? They are a custodial wallet. They hold everyone's assets. The way they hold also differs, and they have some in cold, some in hot. Mostly in cold, of course. So the target will be like exchanges like Binance, and I think they would have definitely been multiple times.
That's why I store all my funds on my wallet.
True, true. That's the beauty of it. Once you know about crypto and the way you hold it yourself with a non-custodial wallet, with your own seed phrase, backed up with it, you cannot now depend on an exchange. You will keep some in that exchange because it eases you in terms of trading. And but the idea of learning from it that you know how to secure your own wallet, you will never depend on an exchange after that completely for your complete holdings of your asset. Once you learn it, it's just like a matter of a few days or minutes. Once you learn of how to secure your crypto, you'll never forget that it's very easy for you to hold it, and then you feel more confident holding your own crypto than leaving it in another exchange. Hi, Jaishi.
Hey, hi, Vikram. Do you hear
How are
me?
you? Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, good. So, quickly let me introduce. So, I work for HP actually. So, new to crypto, but just that we did some project very recently around blockchain, and then I thought I'll just uh, you know get into one of these meetups and then see how it goes and how things work actually. So, anyway, it's nice to meet you guys. Actually, it's quite an interesting discussion. So, I just had one question here. So, how different is let's say a wallet like MetaMask compared to Zapit? I mean, are they customized for India and things like that?
Very nice question. Actually, I'll let Rohit take this.
Sure. So yeah, let's start with MetaMask, right? MetaMask is actually a Ethereum-based wallet. So they have only Ethereum and the tokens built on Ethereum, which are the ERC20. I'm not sure whether they support the ERC 721 tokens, which are basically like collectible assets. It could be gaming assets also. But yeah, they do have ERC20 tokens, which are regular tokens built on Ethereum. In a similar way, Zapit is actually for Bitcoin Cash. We support Bitcoin Cash and all the tokens built on Bitcoin Cash, which are called the SLP tokens, which is Simple Ledger Protocol tokens. So that's one of the main differences. Other than that, we have a lot of services built into our app. Like you can actually buy Bitcoin Cash and hold it in your wallet, but it's done in a peer-to-peer and non-custodial way. But if you actually go through the process of topping up, it's very similar to like buying from a centralized exchange, right? So we actually are focusing on usability basically of the app. We are a payments app mostly. If you take most of the crypto apps, they're all just built for holding crypto. That's it. Even though they have the send receive function, they don't promote that as much as the Bitcoin Cash wallets do. So our tagline is actually the universal payment app, because we want to make sure that when you are making a payment, you're able to do it in multiple ways. For example, if you use Zapit wallet, you go to a store. The store can have both a UPI QR code. Next to it, it could have a Bitcoin Cash QR code. Zapit can actually detect, which you're trying to pay to. So, for example, if you scan the UPI QR code, you can actually pay with your UPI. Versus if you, right after that payment, if you go ahead and scan the Bitcoin Cash QR code, you can send the Bitcoin Cash from your wallet. So that's what we were trying to focus on mainly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and we
Go on.
Yeah, I think another main thing, unlike most of the other wallets, is we actually give a lot of rewards. For example, for every single UPI transaction, we actually give you a token, which actually has value in the market. There are certain upcoming SLP exchanges. One of the most popular ones that are used is Memo.cash. Now it's a decentralized exchange, so you may not have that, like the charts and all that that the custodial exchanges give you. But if you really want to exchange the tokens that you receive back to Bitcoin Cash and then maybe back to your bank account to rupees, there is a way to do it. So it's not like we're giving some empty tokens.
Okay, and it's a fixed charge, or how is it actually when you exchange the currency?
So if you top up your wallet, we charge 0.5%, as well as when you withdraw back your
And the
withdraw back
exchange
your
rate
funds.
is, and the tokens to cash exchange rate is kind of fixed, is it?
We actually use the Insta Crypto Exchanges API. So whatever the price that Insta Crypto
Okay.
has, we basically get that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, Zapit has got multiple features if we compare to a MetaMask wallet. I'm sure MetaMask also is a multiple featured wallet for Ethereum users. But otherwise, the bottom line is that MetaMask holds in multiple accounts. It's easy to use the wallet to send, receive your Ethereum. With the Zapit is much more beyond that. With Zapit, you can not just hold Bitcoin Cash and buy, sell, receive, send. You can actually do a value transfer, like the remittance kind of a transfer that you can do globally with Zapit wallet. Even for those who don't know about cryptocurrency, don't know about Bitcoin Cash, at the background, the wallet uses Bitcoin Cash for you to move your funds. Straight away with the Zapit wallet, if you don't have Bitcoin Cash or don't know about Bitcoin Cash, you can straight away send rupees from a Zapit wallet. With the peer-to-peer payment partners around, it gets changed to Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, is sent on the internet to the receiver, and the receiver's local payment, partner will change it to the local fiat, and then he delivers that local fiat to that guy. It's a remittance. It's a completely built remittance platform. And I think we have somebody here who has worked for or gave this test for your Western Union, right? So Western Union kind of companies are coming to you because they know the cryptocurrency is a better way of transferring funds globally. Since they are into the remittance platform, they probably are exploring cryptocurrencies and their options to merge into their company. And that's what Zapit has already built. Zapit has built everything inside the wallet already, including a local feature that we have, which is UPI feature to pay in India, and use Zapit to pay anyone with an UPI account through the wallet, and you get a lot of rewards also. And if you, if I may say that Romesh didn't say, is got that Zap tokens that you receive as rewards is actually holding a lot of value today in the market, and you can exchange it for Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, Prakash here, colleague of Jayshil, work in the same team. Few questions from my side. Thank you for presenting a nice app and nice features. Couple of questions. One, in most Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, the transaction is anonymous, right? So I was wondering, how are you handling that here?
So, Prakash, most of the exchanges, most of these cryptocurrencies transactions are not necessarily anonymous. It's called pseudonymous in nature. Anonymous ones are like Monero and Dash and things like that. But yeah, Bitcoin Cash can be anonymous through tools that's available out there, Cash Shuffle and things like that. But otherwise, a regular transaction is a pseudonymous transaction. It's not completely anonymous. We're able to use these cryptocurrency to move funds around. It works pretty smoothly, like the way it should work. It's an on-chain transaction, so the on-chain transaction makes you to go and check on the blockchain, independent from the Zapit wallet. You can go to any other blockchain apps and then check out your blockchain explorer or block explorer or blockchain.info. Those kind of features, those kind of app websites will give you all the features of what's happened with the transaction. In particular to doing a fiat transfer through Zapit wallet, at the background, of course, it uses Bitcoin Cash. The user may not know, but your fiat from A to B moves through Zapit wallet. I don't know if I have answered that particular question. I hope what I said was apt to that, but if somebody else wants to add to this answer, you can go ahead. I'll repeat your question again if you want to in a different way.
No, helpful. It was helpful. Thank you. The other question was around, you mentioned, I think, non-custodian. So in that context, how are we doing this tax regulation? If there is there any concern around hiding or manipulating if it is not in compliance with RBI or something?
So we don't promote any of that to hide any funds of yours, or circum or bypass the taxing features, or you shouldn't pay or you should hide your funds. Nothing like that. See, what happens with your cryptocurrency is it's an asset class, and we don't know how the value fluctuates from A to B, from today to tomorrow, right? So for that reason, what happens with your crypto is that you hold it as a crypto right now. There are no laws around crypto, but when you change from crypto to fiat, from fiat to crypto, you do it through your bank account, and all that funds that go in and out of your bank account is recorded, right? Your fiat is recorded. And that particular bank account is given to your CA to do your income tax returns. If you are doing it from your company may do the income tax return, but of course you can also hire your own CA to get your remaining bank accounts. If it's not one of those company salary accounts, if you have another extra account, you have to give that account to your CA and get that IT file. Of course, there has to be certain value, right? If you're doing it just for 5,000, 10,000 a year, you don't have to do that. This is a learning thing. You can go ahead. But if you're doing 10 crores a year in terms of transactions through crypto, you best give it to the CA, all your bank details, and the bank details will show what is the amount of trading that you've done through crypto. So crypto is just a tool to do trading. Now, when you do trading with anything, even per se gold, your fiat in and out and your fiat earnings is what you've been taxed on. So the same way here also on your crypto, whatever that fiat earnings that you have on your bank account, disclose it to your CA and you pay your tax accordingly. If it's a capital gains, means that you kept your crypto for a long time and you gained a lot of value out of it, you can disclose to your CA that you bought it at 10 rupees and you got 10 lakhs out of it. You got to pay your taxes, right, for your 9 lakhs 999 whatever that is profit or your capital gains. So that way you have to disclose all that. And pay your taxes. There's no point in hiding these things, because eventually the future is the crypto, and then the more you learn today and then tax all this accordingly, the better it is for your CA also, for yourself also. And then in future, if it gets regulated, and then according to the regulations, they say anybody who's done the past 5 years of trading and made X amount of profit, it should be paying tax. You would have already ahead of the curve. You would have paid it already.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So you both work for the same company, is it?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, I heard HP. Is that the company that you guys work for? What is it? I'm sorry if I got it wrong.
Yeah, it's
Right.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. We both work for HP Enterprise actually.
Okay, here in Bangalore?
Yeah. We both are in Bangalore.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe I can little bit talk about the kind of project around the blockchain. So it's not in the sense it's a data exchange platform. So the whole idea is to monetize data. So there is a seller and then there is a buyer of the data, and then this acts as like an exchange actually. So the whole the accounting part and things like that are actually maintained on blockchain. So that any of these conflicts or things like that are actually taken care. So we used a token based on ERC20 to actually to record the transactions and things like that actually. So that's how our familiarity or whatever we have around blockchain.
So very nice to know that actually that you already are using ERC20 tokens to monetize the transactions that you're doing. So you're using these tokens to record anything on the blockchain? Are you recording your trades also on the blockchain?
Yeah, so basically whatever the trading happens between the buyer and seller, right, only those are actually recorded on the blockchain.
Okay, so you actually make a transaction, you pay a small fee to get this transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, embed that particular contract details or the trade details.
Yes.
Oh, super. So we're one of the use cases of literally of the existing chains, because a lot of people are building hyperledgers like their own blockchain, which is not necessarily secure in terms of the data that you want to put in on it. Is not secured by everybody. It's just secured by the small group of people that were following that that hyperledger. But you guys are doing it straight on the Ethereum blockchain, you said. So that's amazing to know.
Yeah, I mean, we're not on the main net, not yet, but today it's still under testing actually. So it's test net and things like that actually.
No, super, super. At least you guys are getting there in terms of understanding that's the real blockchain. And if you're testing it in future, that's what you want to do, right? The more better the blockchain is, like the global the chain is, which is like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, are the real global blockchains, and their security and anything that is embedded on that is much more secure than any other chain. So your track is already perfect. You try to build it on the thing. So that's what we are also working on, right? When we are working on the Bitcoin Cash protocol part of it, with Romit and with our Zapit wallet, the fees and those things that happens, I'm sure your trades are much more valuable than what we are talking about. We are talking about small payments and small settlements and small value transfer. For even 10 rupees and 20 rupees and 50 rupees, 100 rupees, these are small amounts. When you're doing these small amounts of transactions, you want to pay small fees for getting that experience of instant movement, right? So that's what Bitcoin Cash brings to the table. For just 4, 5, 10 paisa, you are able to move funds and you're able to record them on the blockchain. With Ethereum is also a great tool like that for you guys. The only reason that we don't depend on Ethereum for our Zapit wallet is because that itself takes about 20, 30 rupees as fee. And we wouldn't be able to cut it at the time when we're trying to do for a small transactions. So in future, we will have to wait and see how it will play. What I mean by that future is just in 1.5 years of time, when we have the next year's bull run going on, the prices of all these assets just shoot up and the fees shoot up. So when these kind of things happen, the winning currency for any kind of these transactions will be Bitcoin Cash because of the way the nature of the Bitcoin Cash built is. It has a bigger blockchain, is a bigger block size, 32 MB, holds a lot of transactions, fees are smaller. You can do, repeat of your unconfirmed Bitcoin Cash for 50 times. So that makes it instant and quick and usable for everybody. So it has a little edge over that Bitcoin, edge over that Ethereum part also. And only time will tell when any bull run that comes in, the next one will actually determine how good a coin is and what its developments really was useful.
I want to ask Jayashil, what's the average fees that you guys are looking at per transaction for the exchange?
Yeah, see, we're not there at Rumit actually. So, it's the main project was around developing the other aspects of it, like the data exchange platform, etc. So, I believe we'll be getting into that going forward. Actually.
What I meant is the token. So you are using the token, right? So you do make token transactions.
Correct. So it's basically it's a variation of ERC20, which is coming from a middleware. So they have their own token built on top of the same ERC20 protocol actually.
Okay. Yeah, I think if you're looking at a large scale, the fees on Ethereum might stack up a lot, right? Because we have seen that Ethereum is kind of following the BTC in terms of fees. They are talking about the Ethereum 2.0 from a long time, so we don't really know when that's going to come. If it does come and if it does solve problems, that's great. But until then, if you guys are looking at like a large scale, a large number of transactions, you may want to do certain amount of tests using the SLP tokens because the fees are much lower. So, if you guys are doing multiple transactions, then the overall fees that you guys are paying will end up much lower on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain.
Okay. Yeah, I think the model, what they plan to, at least the thought process is not to do on-chain transactions for all of the exchanges. The transactions that happen, I believe they want to kind of aggregate and then in bulk do transactions. Basically, you do offline transactions, which is basically there's some amount of trust factor with the middle party, right? And then once you have transactions, you can push onto the chain. There's off the chain transactions and then also on chain transactions.
So great, you brought the great point out there. You said because you're a trust system in the center, you're now letting some transactions hold on to you, and then you do it as a collective on the chain. So in between that, before you do that on chain, the person who's committed to the trade is now trusting you as a person
Correct.
confirm that. That's what we are trying to get away from. I'm just giving you an example. Don't have to take it personally for your system also, because you and your system and your company knows what best that you guys are doing. The idea of cryptocurrency came in to move the trust system away from it. So every time when you put it on chain, then you don't have to trust anybody. Nobody has to be believed and nobody has to be giving any word of trust. Already on chain means then you have everything recorded, you have everything monitored, and nobody has to come in between to give you a certificate that yes, trust us, and we will make sure that this goes on chain by the end of the day today or tomorrow or end of the month. So that's the idea of cryptocurrency, right? So in Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, those kind of things are still happening because the fee and the difficulty a little bit, I would say, in making sure all of that goes on chain is a little there. But in Bitcoin Cash is what that solves. That part to not to trust anybody in between, not to have any more trust systems in between, and have the whole thing on the blockchain itself is what is making Bitcoin Cash and SFP tokens more popular in the world than we actually know. Because in India, we don't hear about that as much as how much is happening abroad. Because in India, in terms of using Bitcoin Cash, we really don't have to, because we have something called UPI. UPIs do instant transfers for free. And if you use Bitcoin against UPI, you're paying a big amount in terms of fee to move Bitcoin. Instead, you rather use UPI, right? So because there's UPI, we don't really understand the depth of how much cryptocurrencies is bringing into the market. And if you go outside India, remaining 99% of the world out there are not using UPI. For them, movement of funds is so hard. They have to depend on a bigger and better and quicker cryptocurrency and cheaper cryptocurrency. And that's why Bitcoin Cash is becoming really popular. Of course, ERC20 and Ethereum was the bridge there between Bitcoin and cheaper ones. But they're better than ERC. Now we have Bitcoin Cash. And in a way, what you said about the ERC20, right? The ERC20 tokens were considered just like another token a few years ago, but of course they are stronger now. Similarly, how on Bitcoin Cash we have SFP tokens, they are not as serious today as they will be in a year's or 2 years time, because of all the bull run and the time taken to prove itself. So that's one of the reasons why we concentrate our meetups to explain and talk about Bitcoin Cash and SFP as much. So some of you, I guess, at a company level, when HP does trades, your trade values are much more higher. So being that kind of a trade value, you can definitely push all those transactions on Ethereum, because the fee taken again is just like in rupees about 20-30 rupees a transaction fee per transaction on Ethereum. So that's still okay for a bigger trade. But when you boil down to a smaller group of trades, smaller value trades, I think to put them on chain and to make sure that there is no extra cost on it, the fee taken by Bitcoin Cash is just amazing. It's a smaller fee to do a lot of transactions.
Yeah, I think we'll keep that in mind. Yeah.
Well, that's just information, right? You guys came here for that, and you're doing beta testing in your company. Soon, I guess you will have another alternative, at least, if at all. If you want to try out some other than the Ethereum, you have a choice, which is Bitcoin Cash.
I would like to say, if any of you have taken your time to download the Zapit wallet, you can post your usernames here and I will send you a tip of some Zap tokens. I think Vikram can do the same with the INC tokens as well.
Okay, so tell me, Romit, I can send that INC tokens also to the name, of course.
Usernames, yeah.
Yes, on Zapit wallet I can. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So we have multiple ways of sending and receiving. There is a centralized way, which is because we have accounts, we just leverage using username system. So you can, if you're sending to another Zapit user, you can just enter the username and you can send either Bitcoin Cash or the tokens. But we also have a decentralized way, which is called Cash Accounts. Which is like a decentralized account system, a username system that can be, so you can basically send Bitcoin Cash to multiple Bitcoin Cash wallets that support the cash accounts. Yeah. It's similar to, I think it's called the Ethereum naming system on the Ethereum, which is like, it's just a username at something, right? So cash account is very similar to that. It's like, it's your username, hashtag, some number, which is again backed by the blockchain. But yeah, other than that, there's the regular Bitcoin Cash address, the token address, and all that.
So just like you can use your own address, which is from your wallet, or you can use your cash account, which is used by most Bitcoin Cash wallets, like how you said about Ethereum also has one of those. Or you can use your own login name and your username from Zapit itself, and we can send you. So if you guys have the wallet, you can post, or even if you don't have Zapit wallet and you already have a Bitcoin.com wallet or any SLP supporting wallet, post your SLP address here. We will send you some INC and Zap tokens so that you can play around with the tokens and learn about it. The idea is like a lot of people ask about these tokens just so that they can hold and increase their portfolio for tomorrow to see what does better and what not. They're all useful for the sake of, at the time when there is a bull run. Trust me, at the time of bull run, a lot of things is going to happen. This is my experiencing total, on the face experience of bull run. I've already had two. I'm looking forward to the third one coming up next year. So in the last two, I had like a lot of experience from it to take, because changes that happened in crypto space was tremendous in a bull run. So I'm hoping that kind of a tremendous change will happen even in the next bull run, which is in 2021. Thanks to that, Sakti, that's your login name, username from Zap wallet.
Yeah, it's mine.
Cool. So
Okay.
We'll just do a transfer now for use.
Also, Nikam, like if you don't mind, like may I know what's your opinion on like when will be the next bull run according to you? As you're an expert, let me know your opinion.
My clear opinion, I've been talking about this, the bull run is in 2021. There is a certain format of how your cutting of inflation is set in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin being the daddy of all the cryptocurrencies, it sets the rule for your bull runs and your bear markets and all that. So the way the past is shown, any halving of your inflation that in Bitcoin, halving of your rewards drives the price up, because that's the base of economics, right? You're cutting the supply of Bitcoin to half, which just happened about a couple of months ago. So what that makes is your number of coins reduced to half. The value of the coin is being the same. So you're getting half the profit of what you were getting, or half the revenue of what you were getting as a miner, as a user, and everything for crypto. And that can sustain only for a certain amount of time. What happens after a little while is the interest of cryptocurrency is always growing. That is not stopped yet. Means we will just put in one specific, picture of mining. If you see the mining, the hardware is increasing, the mining difficulty is increasing. So that's not reducing, that's always constantly increasing at a certain pace. With that pace, the price has to go up. Because if the price doesn't go up and match that pace of the hardware, then you're putting in hardware which you're not getting any returns from it, right? That makes no sense. So if you're putting in the hardware, you're burning more electricity and you are generating less Bitcoin, then less Bitcoin will generate more revenue for you in terms of price of which Bitcoin will go up. So that's inevitable. So that inevitability, we saw it in 2013, the price shot up. Why? Because 2012, there was a halving. In 17, it shot up again because 16, there was a halving. Just after halving, a lot of miners went out because they couldn't sustain. Then the new miners came in, countries putting in their hardware now. In today's date, Venezuela and Iran at a country level, which is the government, is installing cryptocurrency and Bitcoin hardware to mine Bitcoin in their own country. So that kind of a hardware is being added. Now what has happened is the halving just happened, the price is stable, the difficulty and the hardware users are becoming more. So to sustain that, the price of Bitcoin will go up. And when it goes up, it has to cover for the next 4 years, right? So the price goes up in that 1 year, it shoots up in a way that it automatically covers for the next 3 years, even when it does a market correction for the next 3 years. So we're expecting the price of each cryptocurrency, in my experience. Please don't take this as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor here. This is my pure experience that I'm explaining and sharing with you. Next year, I'm hoping cryptocurrency will touch 100K USD. something around 70 to 18 lakhs in Indian rupees. If it touches 1 crore in Indian rupees, I'll be very happy, because that's what I believe in, and that's my thought has come true. That's it'll be great. That'll be then something close to 150,000 USD plus. By the end of 2021, it's still under 18 months to go, because this year is the halving year, right? The halving year, it'll sustain a little bit, because some miners are better performed than the other miners. So the other miners who are not very well performing, they will go out of the picture. The ones who are better performing will sustain with the little money that they are getting, because you see what is happening, right? You same number of hardware you're running, same number of electricity you're spending, or maybe more, but your number of bitcoins that you were getting per day, maybe 10, now it's dropped to 5. How can you sustain your business with just half the amount that you're getting? It will not. So the price of each bitcoin goes up to match that. So that time will come by end of this year, next year, and the whole of next year. It takes a gradual time to increase, and you know what happens with a bull run, right? In a bull run time, people are just looking at the price; they're not looking at anything else. They've heard about Bitcoin all this while. Now the price is going up a little higher. When do newcomers and rich people start putting in money? When it crosses 20,000 USD. Why that particular number of 20,000 USD? Is because previous bull run, which is in 2017, touched a peak of 20,000 USD, 13 lakh Indian rupees. So when the price of Bitcoin comes to the 13 lakhs and 20,000 USD and crosses that, the day when it crosses that, from that day onwards to the next 6, 8, 10 months, it's going to continue to grow, because all those number of people who have not invested in cryptocurrency today is, say, about 90% of the people who know about Bitcoin, but they have not invested. So those 90% of people who know about Bitcoin didn't invest will start investing when it touches 21,000 USD, or a little more than 30. Price of Bitcoin already touched 20,000 USD. So now they're saying, see that the 21,000 is what is in the price of Bitcoin. Then they know, okay, so this is here to grow, and they will put in money. Go ahead, Sakti, you're saying something.
Also, like, what's your opinion on altcoins? Like, do you think that, like, in the 2017 bull, like the 2017 bull run, even in the next year bull run, like, all the like altcoins, like credible altcoins, would rise along with Bitcoin, or you think there won't be any correlation?
There will be a correlation. There's always been a relation. Depends on how well and how different your coin is and how useful your coin is. It will gain traction. It will gain in value. I'll tell you what the two bull runs also has taught me. The first bull run, before the bull run, there was some altcoins, and those altcoins were laughed at. But nobody laughed on those altcoins after the bull run. Means every altcoin got a value, and it gained its own traction, it gained its own popularity and the number of users. So it gained in value in that bull run. The next bull run was 17. In the next 17 bull run, a lot of ERC20 tokens got value. Before that, again, people laughed at those ERC20 tokens, because you just come up with your own token, piggybacking on Ethereum blockchain, and then you expect that to also grow. That was kind of a laugh, but then it actually grew. All of them got its great value. Some of the ERC20 tokens are amazing. They perform very well. They've got a great market cap and user base. Similarly, now in 2021 also, all of these alts, all of these ERCs, all of the S&Ps, every one will gain in value, because the relation is clear. Bitcoin is the daddy of all, and if Bitcoin was going to gain 5x, more or less 3 to 6x, every alt or every tokens will gain in value.
So, apart from Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, what are the alts that you believe in personally?
There are many.
Like some.
Yeah, there are many. There's about 10 to 20. I could name it straight away from here. Bitcoin, of course, is the top. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. For me, Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum and Bitcoin, they're all in the same boat. It's just the class is a little different. Bitcoin stays as a asset class and a store of value more than Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum. But Ethereum stands at the programmable money class, and it's the best programmable money because a lot of programmers are already on it. It's going to be used as more contracts and things, as smart contracts and things. Your Bitcoin Cash comes into the right place, where what Ethereum and Bitcoin didn't do is being an economically useful currency. is what is Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin is not an economically useful currency. Its fees are very high, time taken is long. We're not in that kind of time today to allow so much time for a transaction to finish or pay such a high fee and depend on something like a cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin just stays in its own class. Bitcoin Cash comes and takes over the economics and the commerce class of the world. So eventually the commerce needs instant payments, quick payments. Why do UPI is so popular in India? We all know that. UPI is the most popular thing for today. It's because it's instant and it's cheap and it's free. That makes it popular between the people because commerce needs that kind of a value tool or value currency to move around. So that's what Bitcoin Cash brings in. So these three are the top. The next, of course, there are many. Dark is there, Dashcoin is there, Monero, there is for an anonymous feature. Then we have Dogecoin, Litecoin. Litecoin is being the silver of the coins. It was one of the second ones, right? Litecoin was built in 2010, just 2 years after Bitcoin. And then we have Doge. Doge was started from nothing, but it still holds a value. It has its own mining proof of work. It has its own market cap and a lot of followers. Similarly, you have US and Tron, which are running their own blockchains. They are all popular. So top to 10, 20 coins are all useful in the world today, because what are we trying to substitute? We're trying to substitute banks with cryptocurrencies, right? Like how internet substituted post office. Why do we really need internet? Not because that we can see each other on our with our face, and then post office cannot do that. Post office can never ever match the volumes of communication that we're doing. The volume of communication today is lying on the internet, which is through your Facebook emails or your WhatsApp. Any kind of the platform allows instant communication. That is possible on the internet, not on the post office brick and mortar system that they've set up. Similarly, your brick and mortar system of banks can never support the volumes of communication people will do through cryptocurrency. So those are supported by cryptocurrency. May not be just by Bitcoin, maybe with the successes of Bitcoin through all these coins. So they all will be part of the scaling project for cryptocurrency.
So as you were saying that like banks like may go into these kind of things, I do have a doubt. So I was reasoning like what can be the next possible trigger for the bull run. And right now the coronavirus pandemic is being around the world and it's playing a big role in reshaping all the things, maybe technology or infrastructure and all these things. So for example, if in India everybody like most of them uses digital banking system. So if at all like the core team of the bank handles the transactions like transaction settlements. It's not decentralized like the branches in every city. The core transaction is being done in a centralized place. And if at all a lot of people who is doing the settlements gets affected by corona, then they're going to shut down the office. Then who's going to make the transaction settlements? So government needs to get into crypto, right? So was my reasoning correct, or like I'm just making a mistake?
No, your reasoning is very right. You're allowing the trust system in between vulnerable to pandemics like corona. Then your system of smooth commerce is not going to happen because your smooth value transfer is affected by this corona. Because there are centralized few people are monitoring this and managing this. You don't need those centralized few people, because why having centralized people manage your funds and your level of allowing you to be player here. You don't need those centralized system and centralized people, because they come in with their own personal and private interests. Then they may remove you because they just don't like your face or your name or your religion or your caste. They may not allow you to use certain features of a bank because you're just from a lower caste. Who decides these things? It's the centralized systems. When you remove the centralized and make it a decentralized system like crypto, now everybody is in the same playground. That's what we want. We want everyone to be the similar and equal opportunity playground, and not have an interest rate apartheid that's being protested in New York because the federal bank is in New York and the few known or literate financial people are in New York. They protest in this. They protest against the federal bank, saying that you should increase the interest rate, not have an interest rate apartheid system for rich people, give it at near 0% interest, and the poor people get it at a 500% interest. That's apartheid is what making this income and wealth gap, and through centralized systems. Decentralized systems is what is cryptocurrency is trying to break and make an equal playground for everybody. Whatever that you said about coronavirus, I have my own analyzation of this, right? So the coronavirus is just a hoax to get everybody in this world not observe the financial systems, flaws and the breakdown that's happening. Because if we are all free and we are all as free as we were before Corona, and if the real recession like this took a stand, everybody will look into the situation and learn of the situation that yes, the finance is controlled by the centralized few people. The monetary system is a big joke from starting from federal bank because of the way that they print in dollars. If people learn that, they become knowledgeable and they know to look for alternative. That's something that the top don't want us to know. And for that reason, you have something like coronavirus keeps us busy and the recession just takes its own course and it happens at the background and we don't get to talk about it as much. These kind of things are very controversial, of course, and not necessarily backed by everything. But my hunch it is. I lived in UK. I lived in London. I've learned a lot of things from this to understand why recession happens and how recession is controlled by these top people. These are all just one of those things we learn from it.
Yeah, that's great.
So, Shakti, I've sent you the Zap tokens. You can view it by going to services and then tokens and then to Zap it tokens.
Yeah, I'll check it out, Robert.
Sure.
So I'm just
So the Zap token has 10x in the past 5 days, right?
Sorry?
That token? The Zap token in the coin market price has been 10x in the past 5 to 6 days, right?
yes.
It's not Zap, it's Zapped, ZAPT. I don't think we are listed on the coin market cap. But I think we did a 500x on which is Memo.cash, which is the only exchange we are listed on at the moment. So we
The
started
current
off.
price is 2 rupees, right?
Oh wait, which token? Which exchange did you?
I'm just looking at a coin market app. It's an Android app.
Can you tell me the
symbol is
ticker? Yeah.
The
What is the symbol?
Is it? Like not is it? It's like thunder.
No, what is the symbol of the token? Like ZAP? Is it just ZAP?
It's like a blue background and an inverted ZAP 2.0.
No, that's not that is not our token. Our token is ZAPT, Zapped. So ZAPT.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Zapped is actually 1 rupee right now.
Yeah, sure.
I think last month we were like 1 paise, but right now we're at 1 rupee. So that's a
Wow, that's great. 100x. Super.
yeah. I mean, we just started 3 months back, so lot more to go.
Yeah, that's very good. Good
Yeah,
growth.
so if you do UPI transactions, you get somewhere between 5 to 15 tokens per transaction. So in a way, you're getting at least
Romit has left. Some connection.
Oh, he also just dropped something. He'll be back. So
Yeah, sure.
I just made a transfer of INC token also to you. Sakti rocks, right? That's your.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, just check it out. I wanted you to tell me if you received it. That's all. So I'm just checking from INC send username. I'm just going to send it to Bharat also, Bharat Star.
I've got 500 INCs.
Yes. So you have received it.
Yeah.
And let me just do that to Bharat also. Guys, anybody else has their INC, your SLP address? Just post your SLP address here and we'll send you some tokens for you to test it. Yeah, like I said, Romy just joined now.
Oh yeah, I think my network is down. I have to join from my phone. Okay. I forgot where I stopped. Send something. Yeah, the UPI thing, right? You get cashback of at least like 5 to 10 rupees per transaction that you make.
Yeah, Romit, I'll just use it through your app. Okay, it's possible to directly pay in all the shops.
Yeah.
Through Zap.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Through Zapit. So through the wallet, we have the UPI feature. So if you're
Okay.
QR code from the main wallet. You can go to send and then scan QR code, and that QR code basically scans either a Bitcoin Cash QR code or a UPI QR code. But if you want to enter like a UPI ID and then send, then you will have to go to services, go to the UPI payment rewards, and then there is a place there to enter the UPI ID.
Okay, fine. I'll just check it out, and in the next meeting I'll update you on things. Thank you.
How it works.
I think somebody left. I'm not able to see those right now.
Okay, so I did make another payment to Bharat also with INC. Bharat, did you receive them? Just leave a message here if you have.
What
Vishal, you said, yeah, no problem, Vishal. You can take your time and you can post it here. Even if you've finished our meetup and if you've got it late, don't worry about it. You can send it to us on our Telegram post and we will forward you some tokens. So, anybody here, I'm sure you guys are like aware of what is the market cap of a lot of things around the world. Have you seen the market cap of gold in the world? How much is the market cap of all the gold that's available in the globe? Anyone knows the answer?
I know, but I guess I will wait for someone to answer.
Anybody has followed that and aware of what is the real market cap of the whole gold available? Okay, so since didn't get any answer, not a problem. I can tell you, it's about 8 trillion. It was about 7 trillion a couple of years ago when I had first looked into it. 8 trillion US dollars is the total market cap of all that gold that is available in the world. And you know, some part of that gold is kept in London. That's what they call it. Google says it's 9 trillion, may have increased. So thanks for that update, Bharat. So it has increased to 1 more trillion. It's about 9 trillion now. So the 9 trillion means, of course, the price of gold has gone up a little bit. So it has become 9 trillion. So what I was saying is some gold, stores or places where they store the gold in London by the London banks and what do they call it? The Bank of England. That's the central bank of UK, right? So Bank of England holds a lot of gold. In that, I need to say when they say a lot of gold, some of it is of other countries, including some of it is of Venezuela. Venezuela's gold is also kept in London. They're not giving it to the right owner of the Venezuelan government. The democratically elected guy, who's Maduro, is not been given his gold because why should they give it to him? Because they're in control. They're culprit. The queen is a bitch anyway. We all know that. And she just because she's got her face on the paper that is circulated in the UK, she thinks she's the biggest. So she refused to give it to him. She's giving it to the opposition who's not even won the election. And can you understand? This is just a part of the gold, and that all that inclusive is 9 trillion. So the reason I gave you the picture is because they are manipulating with the little gold that they have of Venezuela. You put all the Indian women's gold, which Indian women supposedly hold about 11.
I guess we lost you, Vikram. Can you guys hear him?
No, it's not work.
Okay, I think his connection is down. What do you mean, brother? What do you want to check in your account? Oh, the token that I sent. So you go to services. Next to the wallet there is services and then tokens. So within tokens, I have sent you the Zapped tokens, which is our own Zapped tokens. It should be in the first. So if anyone else wants to post your username until then, yes, Zapped, exactly. It's only about 50, which is about 50 rupees worth of tokens. So what can you do with Zap? There's like we will actually be introducing like premium services, which you'll have to pay with the Zap tokens to access them, right? So it'll be like it can be anything where you can earn money. Or right now we have coin swap. So for example, if you want to swap Bitcoin Cash to like a stable coin, within a minute you can do that within the coin swap feature. So you don't have to go to like a centralized exchange and store your coins there with the risk of losing all of them. So yeah, you can instantly swap those coins. Okay, reserve. Last time I showed QR code scan. Okay, so what I did was I sent directly to your username now. Last time what we did was we did a giveaway where you can actually scan a QR code to withdraw the funds. The reason we didn't do that is because a lot of you guys are on mobile, and if I show you the QR code, you won't be able to scan from the mobile itself. So if you're on like a laptop or a desktop, then you'll be able to scan from your mobile. But yeah, since the screen it's on the screen, you won't be able to scan it. But that's actually a cool feature where you can actually give Bitcoin Cash or the tokens in a physical manner through like a paper wallet or something like that.
Yeah, and also it's like a computation. If you have your phone ready, you can sweep as many as possible. But yes, yeah, we realized last time that not everybody is on a desktop to do that. From your own phone, it's hard to sweep. So anyway, I've sent some to Hector96 also. Can you please confirm that you see? Bharat, I think you received it, but I did not get any confirmation. As long as you received, it's fine. Okay, yeah. So I was just rattling away about the gold price and the gold market cap and what's happening with the counterfeiting happening from the West. So I don't know where that's great to know, Bharat, that you received it. And send to Hector also, Hector96, if you can just confirm that. So if, I don't know if where I got cut off, because of course it's Google, right? Google Meet. They just cut me off when I was talking too much about Federal Bank in New York.
That was Indian women's gold.
Oh yeah, so 11% of the gold, the world's gold is held by women in India. And if you include the men also, maybe the 15% of the gold is just with the people here. Maybe some reserves that we hold, maybe 20% of the gold we hold as reserves and everything. I know a lot of temples in South India holds a lot of gold, right? So we know that too from the last UPI government who tried to fiddle with that. So what am I trying to say is like we understand gold as like a great asset and a great reserve, a great a store of value, store of wealth for people. You have to hold that because anything that you store in the bank is just one way. You have to have your portfolio spread around. That's also the precious metals, which is the main layer is gold. And if gold's worth in the whole world is just 9 trillion, and how do you allow a federal bank to print 5 trillion in 1 month? This is because you don't have a serious leadership, and somebody like Trump is not understanding the financial matters and economics, and he's not strong enough to put his foot down and say, why the hell are you printing this, and who are you printing this for, and who are these people who are buying back their shares and making it look like their companies are doing good, even if their companies are going to be bankrupt soon. They have this inside information, so they sell all these possible assets, take all these big bonuses in the top 1, 2, 3, 5, like maximum number of people who are at the top is like 5 people, and they absorb all the wealth of this company and then put it out the company for bankruptcy after that. Those are the features you are allowing people to do, is because you cannot stop them. If you try to stop them, they will ask you a question, why did you take so much money from the federal bank and buy back your share? So because they're all sitting on top and eating up this money, nobody is pointing out at the other because everybody is getting a piece of the pie. And the only people we are sitting here below, so low and pointing it out, but our voices are not heard, is because there is a huge income and wealth gap that divides the top people to us. And the gap is what is built from 1971 because we went off the gold standard. Understand that now in 50 years, the situation has come to a stage where more than half the gold's worth can be printed in 1 month by just one country and one economy, which is like the most ridiculous economy that we have. And in 1971, we had all the money in the world equivalent to 9 trillion, which is whatever that equivalent was to the gold. So that's the financial information and knowledge. The more we have, the more we understand why an alternative like cryptocurrency is so useful for the future.
To support your statement, I have one technical backing actually. I just read a news report that uh, there is around 70 trillion worth of gold, silver, and diamonds in the asteroids around the Earth. And if they found a way to get back those gold to back to the Earth, then the gold market is going to collapse.
See, bringing that gold from asteroids to India is not the easiest thing, right? Then that, because it's not easy, the gold market is not going to collapse. What I mean by that is, in Earth itself, we have a lot of gold. Until unless we dig and bring that gold out and process it and use it, there is a lot of cost involved to that. By the time we put all that cost to dig that gold, bring it out, because why is there a higher cost now to dig the gold? Because they're more deeper inside, they're more mixed with other metals, there is a lot of processing that has to be done to extract the pure gold out of it. So the process is a longer process. The harder it is to get, the more expensive it gets. Because we have it in asteroids, we cannot just bring it tomorrow, right? It's a long process. Elon Musk has to bless us with some of his planes. We go to space, we find those asteroids, land on them, dig them. We don't even have any tools to dig them, right? We have to carry those tools also on that planes. Do you think that's cheaper to carry all those things? Not necessarily. So the cost of it is equivalent to that. So that means, say, 9 trillion worth of gold. I'm just putting a number to it. In terms of weight, if 9 trillion worth of gold is, say, 100 tons, hypothetically, it's not 100 tons, it's a lot more. 100 tons is what we have, and we can get another 100 tons from asteroids. What is the cost involved to get that 100 tons from asteroids to here? Tremendous and an enormous amount of money and the time and resources that we have to spend. So all that put together, the gold on the earth also will increase in worth, in value. It's not going to collapse. Well, there are some in that statement that you mentioned, diamond market may collapse if that same thing is happened within the Indian diamond market. Because I'm not somebody who's dwelt in it so much, I've not done research in the diamond market so much, but I have heard and I have read a lot of conspiracies about it, that there is a bigger market out there with a lot of holdings of diamond, and it is controlled by Antwerp. That's the biggest place in Belgium who controls the gold market, diamond market. People in Antwerp have controlling that. So that means they're not flooding the markets with all that diamond that's available, because if they did, the price of the diamonds will collapse. That may happen. But in terms of gold, that particular sentence may not be right, because gold is already a saturated market. If we have to get more, it's going to be a lot more costlier to bring it out. What do you say?
I accept your points. That's correct.
No, I guess you were also right, because you put in all those things together makes a little different. But yeah, diamond market is one of those markets. I've not done so much research to verify and confirm it. But yeah, enough conspiracies around it to say that there is bigger market out there, bigger holdings out there. It's just not brought to the circulation.
Maybe after 30 to 40 years, when Elon Musk makes it very cheaper from the space to Earth.
Yeah, you said 30 to 40 years, right? In 30 to 40 years, what do you think will be the cost of everything? Accordingly, the worth of gold will also be higher, because it's the real intrinsic money that is in this world today. Nothing else matches like the gold can bring out in terms of intrinsic value to its users. So the worth of gold will be a lot more higher, because you are stacking gold against the paper, fiat currency. That's when I talk about paper, it's a greenback paper. It's printed in the US dollars. So when you compare it with that paper, as soon as the paper collapses, each $100 would be able to buy 1 gram of gold. If I say hypothetically now, in 10 years, when the collapse of the paper and the fiat happens, you can give 1 trillion to buy one gram of gold. You may not get it. because you just printed too much paper, and that paper is just heavy to carry around, and it's worth just burn it and take some warmth out of it, like how USSR had to do with the ruble long time ago. So that kind of a situation is waiting to happen for USDB. To help that situation come quicker, the federal bank is printing more and more, and the more they print, like the way in trillions, the more quicker that will collapse.
Yes, there are a few content writers, but I'm not sure of their availability in that kind of projects or not. If they're not, yeah, they're actually very good writers.
So yeah, and I think we had a great meetup today. Huh? This is all about economics and cryptocurrency. So very specific to Bitcoin Cash is what we have this meetups to talk about, because I personally believe cryptocurrency is the gateway for how future commerce should be, and whichever currency, whichever cryptocurrency makes best deal for all this to happen in future is what I'm going to talk about. And Bitcoin Cash it is, and of course along with Bitcoin Cash there's all other altcoins, Ethereum, Bitcoin, everything is playing its part to be the parallel system. Bitcoin Cash, I speak a lot more about it is because that's what is going to bring into the masses. Because what is Bitcoin bringing in? Bitcoin is bringing in a little bit of help to those top elites who have a lot of money, who are ready to pay bigger fees to move their little bit of assets around, which is in Bitcoin. But for everybody else, the 99%, the 90% of the people who are depending on a smaller values to be moved around, Bitcoin Cash it is. So yeah, anybody wants to add any more points to this meeting today? We have another 10 minutes, 12 minutes to go. Usually I finish at 6, but we can go on till 6:30.
I guess I like this happening every week instead of once a month.
Yeah. I think because then we can address the week's progress.
Yeah. Even though sometimes there may not be as many people, a lot more people are able to join just because it's happening more frequently. Anyone else wants to say anything?
Yeah, tomorrow a news came that former DEA of Indian government told that cryptocurrency will be listed as commodity in India, not as currency. How it is going to affect?
Yeah. So this was the first point that I said, Vikram, and I think we didn't even discuss about that. We just said that they basically are going to consider it as a commodity. Even I don't know. I might have to go back and look into the laws of how it may affect cryptocurrencies. So of course, if it is considered as a commodity, then trading will continue. I'm not sure about payments. I don't know how it would affect payments.
But it will be taxed. No, highly taxed. It will.
Well, I don't think so, unless again, it's really hard, right? I mean, I don't know how. I think it's just a consideration. I don't think it will go through because I don't think you can just call it a commodity and then just leave it be, because it does more things than just being a commodity. You can actually use it for payments, which is one of the core aspects of cryptocurrencies. I mean, it's called cryptocurrencies. I know that I think in certain talks, certain ministers said it's not cryptocurrencies, it's crypto assets. They can't change the definition of what it was supposed to be or what it's meant to be. If you look at the white paper of Bitcoin, it says peer-to-peer electronic cash. You can take electronic cash and say it's an electronic commodity, right? I think that's one aspect of looking at the commodity where it may not fit. But yeah, I think we have to look into what are the consequences of it being considered as a commodity if it does go through. I'm not worried about the taxes. I'm more worried about whether it can be used as a payment system or not. What do you think, Vikram?
Yeah, it's your payment system has to be simple and smooth and cheaper, right? It has to be something which fits in right, cryptocurrency came as a parallel system, of course, but every crypto has its own part to play, like how Bitcoin and Ethereum plays its part in being an asset and thing. Bitcoin Cash plays it the best way possible for a commerce usage. And in terms of, if you see global payments, you can use Bitcoin, of course, because you can peg the whole global values to Bitcoin, unlike today that we have for USD. But after you have that pegged in Bitcoin, can everybody in the country, in a place like India, can use Bitcoin to make payments and settlements? Not necessarily. That's where Bitcoin Cash comes into play. It's a real peer-to-peer cash system, because when Satoshi built that, he had these ideas in his mind already. He wrote that in the first block itself, at the brink of second bailout by the mayor of London. Why did he even mention that in his block, in the first ever Genesis block? He used to clearly say that this is what is going on, and we want to have an alternative. We want to have something by the people, not by the elites.
Also, the TCS is now working on with financial institutions and banks to provide crypto trading. I think that's a great adoption. And like,
I actually don't think so. I don't think we need more exchange. I think we need more pay.
I mean,
We have
yeah. That's
the word crypto exchange. I don't think we need more of them.
you will get more competitors.
Well, you will, the initial adopters in India were traders, right? So I guess they are getting their way around. They're getting more options for themselves, which is good. Once they get the more options, others will also follow, because in 100% of the process is helping traders. At least 10% of that will understand how well crypto is built to use it outside the trading platforms also. So that way you bring in more and more adoption, slowly but steadily, of course. Isn't every country has its own edge over it? So Indian edge is to bring in all the traders. All the traders love cryptocurrency. It's probably because of the way entry and exit is instant and smooth. The timings are 21st past 7. Your marketplace is global. And the traders love that, because till that time traders were limited with the limits set by the systems in India and within the country. So that just opens doors to a bigger platform. Everybody loves a bigger platform, right? And crypto brings that. We're just hoping to see how best the peer-to-peer cash system will explode and when it's going to explode. If you see, some countries are good with even mining. Not necessarily that if they mine more, they control more. It's not necessarily that way. Even though they make more hardware, the beauty is that anybody can support crypto from anywhere, and it's the people, and all the people will come unite together with the crypto, and eventually all the tops who are controlling all these financial markets and flow of money will all be spilled out and they'll be taken out. We have examples. The example is Venezuela and Iran. They're trying to get up to 5% together of mining capacity of Bitcoin. Why are they worried about that? Why are they importing hardware and running a miner? Because their energy is cheap in their country. They have an abundance of energy. All they need is a little bit of hardware, and once they start mining, they know Bitcoin is their savior. Why they have to save themselves with Bitcoin is because anything alternative, which is paper fiat system, is not allowing them to do trade freely. Too many sanctions on their companies. Iran is not able to communicate with India as much as they used to do before. We cannot buy their oil. We cannot pay for their oil. The companies, we cannot go and set up infrastructure in their country. All the limitations is brought to you by the centralized systems. We got to remove that and make it decentralized. So this is like a few things that I used to hear about in the beginning. Well, of course, for me also to understand the depth of what I'm listening to was a little hard. And with time and with research is when I learned about all of these things. And I see a lot of people, including, we've talked about this last time, Robit. This one guy from Canada got banned from Twitter and YouTube. YouTube was the main thing. YouTube banned him. And he was one of the first ones I used to listen to, and he used to talk about how crypto is different from the existing fiat system.
Yes, yes.
Hey Vikram, Romit, I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so basically for this Bitcoin, right? Basically, there is some concept of creating a block and then a ledger is maintained, right? For any transaction that is done. How it is actually done actually in real time for a beginner to understand what exactly happens actually on a high level. What are the different things happens like when we wanted to have a kind of a Bitcoin created, right? So what are the steps that happens actually in the background?
Sure. Okay. You want like a brief explanation or a deep explanation?
Just a brief. I actually wanted to know, like, they call it as creating blocks, right? And a ledger is created. So how it translates, that is fine. But once the Bitcoin is created, how the transaction can be done? Is it through Amazon? When we purchase, we can utilize it. So how actually it happens? Two things. One is on the part of the background brief thing, and other is like out of that Bitcoin. What are the things that we can do from our side?
Sure. So yeah, let's start with the creation of Bitcoin. Right? So every 10 minutes, on average, every 10 minutes, a new block is created on Bitcoin. What that basically means is block consists of all the transactions within those previous 10 minutes, or maybe even before that. So any amount of, so let's say there has been 1,000 transactions in the 10 minutes, right? All those 1,000 transactions are basically put up in a block. Block is nothing but a digital. You can think of it like a data storage, right? So on Bitcoin, it's about that one block is about 1 MB of data. So how many ever transactions can fit within those 1 MB? In those 10 minutes, all those transactions will be available in that block. Now, what happens is there are people called miners with, like huge machines, basically trying to find an answer. That answer is pegged to the previous block, right? So it's like a random. It's a random hash, or it's a random set of strings that the miners have to find. The way they do that is by having their computers try like randomly, right? Random amount of values. They just try to find the right answer. It takes
a hash code, right? Hash code value.
Yes, the hash that's supposed to be found, right? So they try to find that hash. Whoever finds the right hash, they are able to basically broadcast that they have found the right hash across the world. They basically are awarded those bitcoins. I think one thing that people don't realize is that the miners cannot instantly start spending those bitcoins. They actually have to wait a certain period of time. I think it's about 1 or 2 months. I forgot exactly how long, but you cannot spend it immediately if you get that. So yeah, that's how, in background, in a brief, that's how it works. You make a transaction, you submit it to the miner. They are basically processing your transactions. They are adding it to the blockchain. So what that means is, if you have found those 1,000 transactions, you're telling all the miners across the world that, hey, these are the 1,000 transactions that took place in the last 10 minutes. Update your database, right? So it's a shared database. That's what a blockchain means. It's shared.
It's a general ledger that is being maintained in the internet.
Yeah, right? Every miner holds that database. That is why it's called decentralized. So one person does not control it. Now, when the miner finds the block, they have to tell all those miners that this is the state of the blockchain at the moment. You have to update them. And then once it's updated, they start the mining process again, which takes about 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's in general how the blockchain.
Okay, when we're talking about transaction, I got the voice was broken in between. So when you talk about transaction, what exactly is a transaction? Can you define what exactly can be a composition of transaction?
Sure. So in Bitcoin, there is something called a UTXO, which is an unspent transaction output, right? So if I send you some bitcoins, it consists of inputs and outputs. What inputs basically mean is where did I receive the bitcoins from? So I am basically adding those data to the transaction, and then what I'm telling is who I'm sending to. So I take your address, which is the public key, I take your address and I put it into the output, and I also enter the amount of bitcoins that I'm trying to send to you. All those are combined together, and then the private key I hold of my wallet, that is used to sign the transaction, proving that I own those bitcoins. So it basically consists of inputs, output, and the signature. There are other things like change address, which is if I'm trying to spend little less than what I totally have, I'm sending it back to myself. Those are just extra outputs, and you have to leave certain amount of bitcoins to pay the fees to the miners. There are concepts like that. There are different kinds of signature algorithms. All those would be. But in general, it's just I'm just proving from where I got the bitcoins and where it has to go. Right. That is a hash that is provided after the signature has been signed for the inputs and outputs. That signature is sent to the miners saying, hey, this is the data that I'm sending to you.
Okay, that is available in the online, so that if anyone cracks the solution, so he can own some amount of a portion of that Bitcoin. Is it right thing, or like how it is?
So whatever I send to you, you will receive those bitcoins, right? But the way the script has been built is, if a miner solves the problem for the 10 minutes, the code itself, so the code that runs Bitcoin, that awards that miner X amount of bitcoins. It started off as 50, and I think now it's down to 6.25 bitcoins every 10 minutes.
Got it. But that particular transaction, right, from where that amount will be credited from, if somebody is solving a problem, so where from it will come actually?
It will be created out of nothing. It'll be minted.
So the minted ones are new ones. The new ones are minted within the 21 million bitcoins that is already there or already set to be have. So 21 million bitcoins will ever be there forever, and till today 18.5 million bitcoins are already given out. So every time the miner mines a block and he receives the reward, he receives a new set of bitcoins that is remaining from 18.5 to 21. If he minus that, about 2.5 million bitcoin is remaining. From the remaining bitcoins, he'll start getting little. Right now, he's only going to get about 6.25 bitcoins from that. Every 10 minutes, 6.5. If you calculate that for the next 3.5 years, it will finish. And then after that, it will half to that 6.5 also, 6.25. You will start getting some 3.1 bitcoins for every 10 minutes. So in 4 years, that is after 2024, anybody who mines and he wins a block, he will only get 3 bitcoins per block for 10 minutes. So that's the way it is set out. So the thing that you get it from is actually already made as a set protocol by the Bitcoin protocol. We all have agreed that that's how we download and we mine on that. Suddenly the number of bitcoins mined will not increase. You may get a little bit more than 6.25 today. What is be the extra will be the fees that people have paid in that particular 10 minutes. So say in 10 minutes you have 10 transactions, and each transaction paid 1 bitcoin as fee. So you will get that 10 bitcoins as fees plus the 6.25, which will get 16 bitcoins. You don't necessarily get 1 bitcoin per fee paid by people. You get a small amount of bitcoin. All that gets added together, and the miner gets that as extra after the block reward.
Got it. So the transactions are like to and fro of the Bitcoin's transaction. It is that right?
Yes.
Yes. To and fro is of Bitcoin only, and in a Bitcoin blockchain, only Bitcoin will move to and fro. So if I'm sending you Bitcoin and you are expecting to receive Bitcoin Cash, that will not happen. If I'm sending you Bitcoin, you will receive Bitcoin only, because Bitcoin will move on the Bitcoin blockchain and only Bitcoin will be delivered to you, because your address is Bitcoin address. And if we both are trying to communicate with Bitcoin Cash, and if you ask me for Bitcoin Cash and I'll ask you for your Bitcoin Cash address, I will send you Bitcoin Cash from here. That will work on the Bitcoin Cash protocol, and then you will receive Bitcoin Cash.
But what is the difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin? Is there any difference in Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin?
So yeah, Bitcoin and Bitcoin is all the same. Just to start with, they were all the same. From 2009, January 3rd, when Bitcoin started, it's been the same. Even Bitcoin Cash is exactly the same. Till 2017, hard fork that happened. So till that time, if I had 10 bitcoins, I will continue to have 10 bitcoins after the fork. But the lucky part is because I had bitcoins before that, I will have another 10 more of Bitcoin Cash. So because the hard fork happened, the number of bitcoins was 21 million, right, at the top. That has become 42 million now. 21 million of Bitcoin, 21 million of Bitcoin Cash. But actually, they're both the same. Bitcoin split into two means the ledger control has split into two. The second set of people who are also following Bitcoin, which as the name called as Bitcoin Cash, is following the same ledger that started from 2009. The ledger means the history of holdings is still the same. It's just the updates are a little different. If you see the update of Bitcoin Cash is holding 32 block, your MB per block, means more transactions are allowed of Bitcoin Cash per 10 minutes. In Bitcoin, then the block size is still the same. That means the guy who started Bitcoin kept us 1 MB block size later after the Bitcoin was started to have a set number of block and to mine easily. So, but the Moore's law says we can get better technology and better hardware and better every year for cheaper. We should be able to run at least 30 MB blocks. But because Bitcoin controls not to allow bigger MB, and Bitcoin Cash is updates, and the fork from that day of Bitcoin Cash allows better, usability for Bitcoin Cash. It allowed bigger blocks. So the development and the update part is a little different, but the ledger is exactly the same between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. I'm sure there is better explanation than me. We can listen from Romit also.
You got it. It was clear actually. So there is something called smart contract, right? Is there any programming that is required to be involved in Bitcoin?
Yeah, so smart contracts are programmable contracts that's built on most of the cryptocurrencies. For example, Zapit uses smart contracts for the non-custodial escrow that we use.
Okay, is it a way to mine the Bitcoin? The smart contracts are like different.
Smart contracts can be any kind of contracts. For example, if you want to write a physical contract, you can actually do that in the digital form, but using cryptography rather than trust, right? So if you usually are signing a contract, you require lawyers and things like that. But with a smart contract, you can actually prove the viability of the contract, proof of the contract via the blockchain. So yeah, you have to write. There's a special language for each cryptocurrency. For example, Ethereum has Solidity. Bitcoin Cash, we have something called Cash Script. So by nature, Bitcoin itself has the Bitcoin script, which is shared with Bitcoin Cash, but that's not as powerful. That's why there had to be another language that's created specifically for creating smart contracts.
Okay, is it based on any specific programming language? It's how it is.
It's its own language. Cash script is its own language. Solidity is its own language.
Okay, is it different from the programming language in general?
The concepts are the same, right? Like functions, classes, whatever you usually have on regular programming. It's just the format might be different. The dependencies might be different. The requirement
rules, something governing.
Yeah. So Bitcoin itself, the Bitcoin script, which is the script that basically is used to make transactions and things like that. That uses a stack-based model, which is pretty old. That's not. It's very hard to do Bitcoin scripting. That's why they're working on like high-level programming language where it's very close to things like Java or JavaScript or C++ or something like that.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah.
So if you see some of the Ethereum wallets, when you're trying to make a transaction on Ethereum wallet, it asks you for any message to be embedded. That message itself is a smart contract. In that smart contract, you can add your real contracts hash on it, or an image or a video, or you take one and then you put a hash on that transaction. Your document that you hash.
I lost in between. What is that message you're talking about? Is it related to Bitcoins or like it's different? You're talking about some message, right?
Yeah, so that's talking about Ethereum. Ethereum as a coin.
Okay.
When you make a payment from one person to another, you send one Ethereum to a friend, he receives that one Ethereum which is worth 20,000 rupees. I'm just giving a hypothetical number. So
Okay.
you were supposed to sell him 20,000. Instead, 20,000, you sent him an Ethereum. While sending the Ethereum, if you wanted to embed a contract, a smart contract on it, some wallets, or most Ethereum wallets now, allow you to add a message in the transaction. So that message you can write it yourself, or you can just take transaction hash of some document that you have on your computer, or a video or audio. You just put that hash along with the transaction. That particular document's hash also gets embedded in the blockchain of Ethereum. So tomorrow, if you claim that that particular document is yours, or say that video is made by you, or the image is yours for the first hand, and you hold the intellectual property rights of that, you can dig into the transactions of Ethereum, and you can prove from your wallet that you can sign that particular transaction. So that means it was sent by your phone, and along with the transaction, you embedded a hash of a document, and the document now belongs to you because that timestamping is done on that hash, on that Ethereum blockchain. So we may not be able to use that particular timestamping today in the court of law. They may not accept that as an intellectual property of yours because they don't understand the whole system. But it's like an example can be given like how the newspaper is, right? If I print something on the newspaper, in 6 months down the line, if somebody else prints the same poem on the newspaper, I can always say that, I'm sorry, this is my poem because I printed it on the newspaper 6 months ago. The system of newspaper protects me from that, saying that yes, it was my poem because I printed in the newspaper first. It's the timestamping provided by the newspaper system. But if the newspaper system is brand new, would anybody believe that this is what newspaper is going to bring it to us? Nobody would have understood it. That's the state of cryptocurrency today. Today, people may not understand that how powerful the timestamping on the blockchain is, but in future, when we understand cryptocurrencies in depth, then we will be able to use this kind of technology, which is a smart contract embedding timestamping technology.
What difference it makes if we are embedding a smart contract, if we are having a general thing? So what kind of advantage we can get it over if we are embedding a contract in general?
So just think about if you wanted to embed something which is an intellectual property level. Say you took an image of a shoe that you designed, and the shoe is designed by you, and you took a picture. Now you want to safeguard this picture, saying that this particular shoe design is yours. Because if you make a mass production of the shoes and you print and you sold it, say the first 10 shoes that you sold, maybe one shoe was bought by the Nike company, they'll just replicate it. How do you sue Nike later? And to tell that, sorry Nike, it's not you designed the shoe. Just because you have the infrastructure to distribute it to the whole world, you distributed it saying that it's your design, but it is actually not your design, it's my design. How do you prove that? In today's world, you can prove that by taking a picture and going to the IP laws and hiring an IP lawyer, putting it on the intellectual property database. There is a lot of cost involved to that and a time taken for that. And somebody as a layman who just wants to sit at home and design a shoe may not have all that resource and the money to go and get it on the IP laws. So for you to secure your product, today you can use the blockchain. On the blockchain, it is as low as 4 paisa. You can do it on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. Make a transaction fee of a Satoshi and you pay only 4 paisa. That particular shoe design is embedded to your name and nobody can take that away from you forever. So in future, if somebody stole that design and if they say, oh, I designed it in 2021, you can say, I'm sorry, in 2020, I had already designed this shoe and then I put it on the blockchain. You can prove it to people. And you can prove it to me because I understand that. Maybe the courts don't and the lawyers don't and the judge don't. But with time, everybody will learn. And once they learn, they can use that particular transactions smart contract or the hash action. You can prove in the court tomorrow and then maybe win your case against somebody like a giant like Nike. One aspect of the smart contract.
So I understand that from business point of view, it is very much helpful, right? Say if you're owning a company and you're having a software, you're designing a software and you wanted to have a patent or something over a period of time. So you can embed a contract and then make sure like it is safe, secure.
Exactly. It's the same thing. You understood it. You don't have to be in the US or in a first world to get your IP registered. You can do it on chain instantly from anywhere in the world. That means every person in the world has a chance to secure their product, secure their innovation, and like make money from it in future if it really becomes big. There was a case. It's a story because our stories are always people, right? People love it and then they remember. There was a story that this girl in Africa took a picture of her behind from a mirror and tried to secure that as hers. But Kim Kardashian is saying that no, that particular way of taking a picture of your backside or her bum because her bum is big says that it's hers, and then she was trying to sue that girl. So if only that girl had a knowledge of blockchain, she would have taken that picture before Kim Kardashian and then posted that particular picture's hash address on the Ethereum blockchain. Now she can prove that it is her idea before Kim Kardashian's idea. Now, why Kim Kardashian may win today is because she has more power and more money, and she's sitting in the place like US where she can fight the case better. The girl from Africa may not be able to fight that case, but tomorrow she will have a better technology to secure her innovation.
Got it. And what is the other part of the question, right? So you have a Bitcoin, and you're doing some transaction. At outcome of it, you're having some Bitcoins, right? So from a transaction perspective, right? So in what all ways we can utilize it? That means like I have say like 500 Bitcoins, right? Is it what are the avenues wherein you can trade or like say shop? Any idea on that one?
Well, Bitcoin itself is money. The way money should be right now, the paper money is not necessarily money; it's just a currency because the money is not backed by gold. So Bitcoin, when you hold right now, you may not understand and use all the features of Bitcoin. Like if you were just a teenager, or say you were just like 10-year-old, and then on your 10th birthday, your grandfather gave you 1,000 rupees. You put in a bank. What do you do with the 1,000 rupees? You just wait around, right? Because you don't have anything really to do with it. Because you're still learning and you want to see how you will spend that money. It's the same as Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency is brand new. We are all new users. We just don't know how useful it is yet. But already Bitcoin has proven itself to show that many people use it for trading. Many people use it as asset holding. Like you have a portfolio of holding money in bank, in wealth, in gold, in precious metals, in property. Now you have another avenue to hold your money, your wealth in cryptocurrency. Because every aspect of this brings you a new side to it. What brings property holding better is as a solid asset class. But is it as liquid? Means tomorrow you want just 10,000 out of the 1 lakh rupees worth of value of your property. Can you get 10,000 out of it? No, you cannot. You have to sell the whole 1 lakh worth of property, then get 10,000 out of it. It is not easy to get that 1 lakh also because you have to put out for sale, do a sale agreement, this, that, and everything. Time taken is long. So it's not a real liquid asset. It's a storable asset which is hard to get the liquidity out of it. And then you get only 10,000 you needed, but you sold all the 1 lakh rupees worth of property. What do you do with the remaining 90,000? You may want to buy another property to store that remaining wealth there. So those are the difficulties that was in a real estate. But if you compare the real estate asset to Bitcoin asset, your Bitcoin asset is instantly stored. Bitcoin asset is instantly liquidated through an exchange like with it.
I think we lost you, Vicky. But yeah, I guess, Bharat, can you hear me?
Yeah, I could able to hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so just adding on top of what Vikram said, if you're trying to spend the BTC Bitcoin, the reason he says it's asset is because it's become like that, right? The fees is too high, so you cannot use it in normal commerce. That's why we use things like Bitcoin Cash and Dash. Even BSV is showing certain aspects of that. There's also Monero being used. But for those, you can literally buy anything you want. For example, there's a website called purs.io, PURSE.io, you can buy any Amazon product, or I guess a lot of Amazon products using Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash.
PURS.io, is it?
Yeah, PURSC.io, purse.io.
Okay.
But we on Zapit we are also working on having payments. So, for example, you'll be able to pay in any shop in India. That's what our aim is, right? That's what we're going to be focusing on.
So in future we can expect a kind of payment gateway in terms of bitcoins, so that can be integrated to any applications. So
Yeah.
right, but
So
currently,
the way we do it is, the tokens that I sent you, you can actually use those tokens to receive discounts on every single payment if you use Bitcoin. So now you're using UTI to receive the tokens, but then we incentivize you to use those tokens along with Bitcoin Cash to make regular payments in your day-to-day activities.
okay, but what are the ways to do payments with the bitcoins?
What do you-
Purse.io is one avenue wherein we can spend the bitcoins. Is there any other avenues available?
Yeah, there's a website called egifter.com where you can buy a lot of gift cards. I think I saw like Uber, Paytm,
egifter.com.
yeah, egifter.com. So
Gifter.
yeah. So lot of they have a bunch of gift cards, right? So you can store your money in Bitcoin Cash, or any of the currencies that are supported. And when you want to spend it, you actually what's that?
Right?
Yeah, the card, and then spend that instead.
Purse.io, is it?
egifter.com, I guess it is.
Okay, fine. Egifter.com. Okay. So when we do transaction over that one, is it similar to payment like Amazon? How it is? Is it something different?
Yeah, it's very similar, right? So you sign up and you choose the product. You go to the cart and then you continue. And when you go to make the payment, you choose which cryptocurrency you want to use. This is when the fees matters, right? So, for example, if the amount of the order is 1,000, now the fees is what matters next. So, for example, if you choose Bitcoin, you may have to pay like 100 rupees fee. If you choose something like Dash or Ethereum, it may be somewhere between 5 to 30 rupees. Versus Bitcoin Cash, you pay just like 10 paisa.
Okay, there is a break in voice actually. So there will be some options like Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and all. So you mean to say like for Ethereum, the cost, the transaction that the service fees will be less. Is it something?
Transaction fees is different. So Bitcoin by far has the highest transaction fees. Bitcoin Cash, as far as we have seen, is by far the lowest transaction fees. Everything else would come in between those two. Now there are some cryptocurrencies that say that they don't have any fees, but they are not used much, or they don't have like merchants because they may not be such good in terms of technology.
Okay, got it. I will have a look at it. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I hope you got all the answers. Even when I was talking, I think Google Meet is not happy with me talking about the truth about cryptocurrency and the fiat system, so it's cutting me off. Anyway, so the aspects of how we were going to use crypto, like I said, it's a great asset tool, right? It's the best asset tool because of the way its liquidity is instantly in and out. It's a great tool for payments, settlements, value transfer around the world. It's a great tool for trading because anybody can trade with anyone globally now. You don't have the restrictions of borders and everything with trading cryptocurrency. So those are the real two features. But I guess you want to spend in some specific places. Like Romit was telling you, there are many places to spend also. Those are also places that you have to learn where to spend. It's like if a rich person comes in with the Amex, American Express credit card to India, how many places can you really use it? A few places only. Rich places only. So those restrictions that an American Express has. Similarly, right now, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin has a little bit of restrictions in where you would use that, where would you pay with those. But yeah, in future we'll have more places, more avenues to spend it.
probably in US it is more prevalent, right? They do transaction on trading also more compared to India. But in India, like, are they using Bitcoin for trading, like shares and all they are doing, or yet to come those things?
So in India, you're trading crypto itself, not necessarily against the shares. You're trading crypto versus crypto and crypto versus fiat. So that way the trading is big. BitDNS, WazirX and CoinX was there before. Uno DAX is there now. Uno Coin is there. That's my first exchange that I built, right, in 2013. So these exchanges are allowing people to trade within crypto. So that way the trading is big. Maybe cross trading between other trading assets and other tools that is there, like shares and debentures and all that, versus crypto, that may not be happening right now, but may happen in future.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah.
So any more questions you have, Bharat? I think we're just waiting on you because you're the last person standing.
Got it. So just a final question I wanted to ask. When you talk about transaction between Bitcoin currency, BCH or the Bitcoin, right? Well, is there any profit that you can make it between transactions?
So between transactions from you to me, just a Bitcoin transaction, well, you are sending me some money, and instead of sending me that money, you're happy to send BCH, and I'm happy to take BCH. Nobody is making any profit in between fees or any percentage. You're just sending me money, I'm receiving it. I received my value equivalent to what I was supposed to get in Indian rupee. The fee that you pay is gone to the miner who's mining this transaction between you and me. There is not really any kind of profit happening between us. It's just a method of sending and an easy way to communicate in value. But if you're running an exchange, like I'm running an exchange now called InstaCrypto, in InstaCrypto, you have to now buy Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin. Because the person that you're sending money to is not going to accept fiat, he wants in Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, but you don't have it, then you have to buy first to send it to him, right? So you end up buying on InstaCrypto. When you're buying, you pay a 0.5 fee. That's what is the fee charged by the InstaCrypto exchange to change your fiat to cryptocurrency. And
what is that fiat? I didn't get you. What is that you're talking about? It's a term called fiat, right? Is it?
Oh, fiat. Fiat means the paper money that we use. The government printed money. Fiat is the name it's got after it lost its backing of gold. So it became a fiat currency. That means it's really not backed by anything. It's just backed by the guns and ammunitions and the fear that USA creates, so that everybody in the world uses their paper. That's a fiat system. So that's what is a fiat money. So when you have to buy crypto, you have to use some fiat paper, right? So you pay paper to an exchange like InstaCrypto and you pick up cryptocurrency. So there is a small fee.
Got it. Thanks, Vikram and Romit, for giving some valuable insights on Bitcoin and stuffs. Yeah.
Sure, no problem.
Anytime. The better questions like you had, those questions prompt us to give us more information. So thanks to you for your joining our meetup and asking the questions.
Probably we can continue next week, right? Next week you have the same session. So basically from beginner perspective, it will be much more helpful, right? So you guys are on an advanced level, right? I think you are already having companies, that means application that is already created, right? It's a product that you have, Zapit and InstaCrypto, right? These are the products that you own, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then catch you next week. Thanks for your time and valuable insights. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Have a nice evening.
You too. Yeah, you too both. Yeah.
Bye, bye.
Well, it was a nice conversation, Robert. It was good to have you again. Like always, we'll do this every week now. Makes more sense. I think I'm going to try Alan David. He was saying that we could use his Zoom like footage version, and I was thinking of asking him to try out because even the meet is actually breaking too many times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Google has some kind of compared to Zoom, it is very stable in nature. Wherein in Google we cannot expect that much smoothness. Like it will be somewhat jittery in between, right? Sometimes it works better, sometimes doesn't. You have some lag in between. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So hopefully that is not there because Zoom was better when I used it in a paid version.
It's better. You don't have any problem as such, right? Even in GoToMeeting, if you're using a system, right, it takes more on of memory actually. In Zoom, it is not the case. It doesn't create some problem, right? In machines, if you are accessing it, there wouldn't be much problem in the Zoom.
Okay, okay. So yeah, we'll reconsider this in the end of this week for the next meetup. Okay, thanks for the insights too. Bharat.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Prajwal. I think you can finish up with the YouTube also. Okay, guys. Have a nice evening again.
Okay then. Bye.
You-
Bye.
yeah,
Bye. Bye. See you guys again.